Hello, everyone. Raymond Moore, Kilted Prepper. How's everybody doing this morning? Life is good. It's Friday, folks. It is Friday, right? Yeah, it is Friday. So, good things going on, good life. We made it through the week, but it's Friday. So, had a really good walk today, and it was a really fun, good time. Hey, Dana, how you doing? So, today's topic is the power of why. It's a mental fortitude test because I've been talking a lot recently about building your mental fortitude so that when SHTF happens, you can power through a lot of the crap that's going to be thrown at you. And this is a problem that I'm seeing in the prepper arena these days is a lack of mental fortitude, that wherewithal, that grit, that drive, that determination and things. People, they have some points of it, but in many other areas of their life it's lacking. And the power of why is a great way to determine your mental fortitude. For example, why am I overweight? Why is my relationship with my spouse not the greatest thing in the world? Why am I not hitting my goals? Why is my preps not where they're supposed to be? Why is there not enough money for the month? Or why is there too much month and not enough money? And how you answer this is by actually asking yourselves how. But before you even hit the how, what you need to do is really search yourself, really look at yourself and ask the why. Why are you overweight? Why is your relationship not the greatest? Why is there too much month and not enough money and things? So, it's something that you need to ask. Now, when you ask yourself too, you've got to be really real with yourself. You can't be fudging, you can't be telling yourself lies or anything like that, because that's a point of mental fortitude. If I have found that in my life that when I start I don't know what happened there, folks. My screen went blank all of a sudden and everything. So hopefully you guys can see me and everything. If you can see me, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up or say something like that. Let me know that you can see me and everything. But yeah, weird snafu there happened. But the when I was saying is that when you ask yourself why, then you need to really get real with yourself. Why am I overweight? Why is my relationship? Why is not meeting my goals? Why is my preps not getting to where they are and everything? Thank you much, Holly. I appreciate it there. So I had that snafu and everything. But anyways, the power of why helps you determine your mental fortitude. Because if you truly get real with yourself, and I mean honest with yourself, not this, rainbow and unicorn answer that a lot of us give to ourselves and everything. But when you really get real, why are you in these situations? And then what have you done about it? But more than that, the how. Okay, I've determined that I'm overweight, or I've determined that my relationship is not the greatest, or I've determined my preps are not where they should be and everything. When you ask yourself why and you truly get real, then you have a true understanding. But then if you ask yourself why and then you give yourself an answer that's kind of a BS answer, oh, I'm overweight because I'm a big bone person, or my relationship sucks because, my spouse isn't doing this or anything. What you really need to understand, it's all about you and what you control, what you are and everything. Because when you do this, or at least when I've noticed that when I do this, I start finding answers. And when I start looking at those answers, and again, when I am real with myself, I then start realizing, hey, a lot of this stuff is on me. And 9 times out of 10, if you're asking yourself why and you do these questions, then again, everything basically boils down to you. But what you need to then do is then ask yourself how. Okay, I am over. Why am I overweight? Why am I relationship? Why do I not have enough money? Why is my preps not where they are? Why am I not reaching my goals? And then ask yourself, okay, well, if I'm overweight, how can I change that? Well, a good thing to do is start getting out there and working and walking and doing these other things. You know, if my relationship is not the greatest, what am I doing to make deposits in that other person's life and everything? If my preps are not there where they need to be, so why aren't you doing it? How can I change that and everything? But when you ask yourself the why, and if you give yourself a lame excuse, then I hate to say it, that's your mental weakness. That's why you are not mentally strong. That's why the grit is lacking. And I'm not saying that in all parts of your lives, because everybody has strong points, everybody has weak points. But what I try to do is I try to make all my parts of my life to excel and exceed and grow and do and everything. I work hard on my body. I work hard on my passion, my relationships and things. I work hard at growing myself, my relationship with the Lord, my relationship with myself. I work hard at building income, building business, building, just building and creating and everything, production and stuff, or business and stuff. And so when I look at these things and I give myself a bullcrap excuse, then I realize that this is a mental area that I need to work on. I need to strengthen it. And when I get to that realization that, yeah, it's me because I'm not doing XYZ, I then ask myself, how? How can I change this? How can I do these things and everything? And this is where, I've talked a lot about core four and how core four really helps me. I've been doing core four now for, gosh, stage. There I am again. I'm sorry, folks. I don't know what's going on with my program here. I don't know if you're seeing it, but something's happening here. But anyways, I look at these things and I do this self reflection. I do these things, and when I start giving excuses, because we all give ourselves lame excuses and everything, and that's why some of our areas in our lives are mentally weak. And but if we start asking ourselves, how can I change this? How can I do these things better? How can I achieve these goals? How can I lose my weight? How can I have, more money coming in, so forth and so on? How can I get my preps up to better? Once you ask that question, how, then you start giving yourself a direction. And this is what I was saying, I leverage the core four. And my core four is body, being, balance, business, or passion, power, or power, passion, purpose, and production. There's a whole bunch of different words that I use to define my core four. But I've been doing core four for, like I said, for about almost 6 years now, and it helps me to achieve what I need to achieve in all areas of my life, not just one area, not just two areas, because so often we as humans, we can really only focus on one or two areas. And then, it's like juggling balls. And how many balls can we juggle at once? And most people can juggle one to two. But when you start leveraging the core four and start learning how to operate within that area and that using that system, all of a sudden you're able to start juggling more balls, getting more things done, and the whys start disappearing, and you start discovering the hows. How can I get my preps better? For example, why don't I have that solar generator that I've always wanted? Well, my answer might, well, I don't have enough money. Okay, well, why do I not have enough money? And it's because I'm not doing this. Well, why am I not doing this? And so what happens is when you start asking yourself whys and start really whittling it down and drilling down deep and everything, you then are able to start finding solutions and start doing these things. And again, I say all this because when crap hits the fan, folks, we are going to be thrown into a lot of chaos. We are going to have to start thinking clearly. We are going to have strong mental fortitude, that grit, that determination, and everything, because we don't want to be changing or adapting or something like that during the chaos. The more habits that we can form right now at this moment and start pushing forward at this moment will build those habits, build those better things, and then enable us to perform better, get more done, and basically stay ahead of the wave. Because that's what we as preppers try to do, is we try to stay ahead of the curve, ahead of the wave, ahead of the masses, ahead of the sheeple and everything. But if your life is still in chaos, what's going to happen is you're going to be swept up into that sheeple mass, and then you're going to just be working on panic and reaction and instinct, and that's not going to get you anywhere fast. So by exercising this mental fortitude and truly asking yourself why, and then drilling down deep, getting real with yourself, and then start mapping out, right? You know, are you guys still seeing me? Are you still hearing me? I don't know what's going on here, but this app, I don't know what's going on here. I got a weak internet connection or something. I don't know. But if you can, do me a favor, let me know if I'm still 5 by 5 there, Holly or Dana or Chantel or whoever. Let me know, because I don't know if I'm broadcasting or not. But anyways, when you ask yourself these questions and start drilling down deep, you start finding answers. And by finding these answers, then you have solutions, and these, and then you can start pushing forward. But to determine your mental fortitude and everything, the best thing to do is ask yourself why. And then if you come up with some lame excuse, then that means you're not being very strong and mentally. But if you keep drilling down, why is this? Why is that? Why that? And keep drilling down, you can then start finding answers for yourself and then start asking yourself how. It cuts in and out, but you're back up right now. Thank you, Dana. I appreciate it. I don't know what's going on. I apologize. I don't know if it's the internet. I don't know if it's the software that I'm using or anything. So I appreciate you guys' patience and everything. But I feel this is an important message. I really didn't want to talk about this, but my gut was just telling me to talk about this, because I believe that there's people out there that need to hear this message. And what we need to do is ask ourselves why, and stop believing the bull crap excuses that we have, and drill down deeper, and then start finding the hows. How do we change these things? How do we make these things better? How do we juggle more balls? And again, I leverage the core four system. And if you guys didn't see my core four video on Saturday night, go back and watch that. That'll really help you explain what I do in regards to core four and doing all that. And so what we need to do is focus and ask ourselves why. And by doing that, we are then testing our mental fortitude, because once we ask ourselves why and we come up with an answer, we can then ask ourselves, how do we change that? And then the other part of mental fortitude is, once you have a how, once you have a solution, then jumping into it and making that change. Because if you can learn to operate in this arena, if you can leverage this sort of system, like I'm using the core four, then you're going to be able to plow through when times get hard, when the chaos gets crazy, and be that better person, be that better leader, be that better person for your friends, your family, your neighborhood, and so forth. Because, like it or not, in the prepping arena, lone rangers die. And it's those of us who work hard at building a mutual assistance group, building a community, and everything, that we are going to make it. Because what we're doing then is creating a safety net. But we've got to start asking ourselves, why this, why that, so that we can then get to a how and then make those changes. And so I felt this message was important. And like I said, I was on my walk today, and this message just kept coming back to me in this walk. And it's like, no, I don't want to really talk about that. That's on Friday, man. And yet, it's God talking to me. Is the only thing I can say is God telling me, nope, you need to tell this message because people out there need to hear this. And so I really challenge you this weekend to really start doing some self-examination and ask yourself why. Why are you here? Why is that? Why am I overweight? So it keeps cutting out, folks. So listen, I'm going to cut this short, and hopefully this video will do good enough and everything. And I don't know what's going on with my software, but I'm ending it. And maybe what I'll do is to do this again when my signal is better or the software is better or something. So goodbye. God bless. Kilton. We'll see you next time. I'm sorry for all the technical difficulties. So we'll see you, and I'll maybe talk about this again. We'll see you. Goodbye. God bless.